In 90 minutes' time, we're going to find out who are the winners for the Social Entrepreneurship Competition in Tourism 2024. This is a live event. My name is Kevin O'Shaughnessy. I'm streaming here from Dublin as part of a worldwide event with personalities from all over the world joining us to be part of this competition. It is streamed live. A lot can go wrong in the next 90 minutes, but backstage, to keep me honest, is Maria Stoyanova. This is the fifth time we've been able to run this competition together. It's the fifth edition. We started back in 2019 with our founder, Claudia Brotze, who will be joining me on stage here in a moment. But just to give you a little framework of what we're looking at for the next 90 minutes or so, like I said, this is a live show. We've got 2 tracks of different startups that are taking part in this worldwide competition. We'll get some statistics from Claudia in just a minute, because I know I've seen the slides and they're looking amazing. But anyway, point being, there's a lot happening, and from those 2 tracks, we're going to pick a winner and a runner-up from each group. So there'll be one winner and one runner-up from each group, and that's in the launch track, meaning a brand new idea that maybe had a back of a napkin kind of conversation in the past, but is otherwise brand new, and then a growth track for types of projects that have a little bit more traction. This is all made possible through a competition that Claudia has structured. This is, like I said, it's all happening live. We have pre-recorded pitches that only myself and the backstage crew have seen to make this possible. We have a jury, which we'll learn more about in a moment, who will see it for the very, very first time live. And with only a little bit of information about the space, we have some questions that have been presented to us to ask each of the participants live on this stream for their answers. So the jury will hear the pitch for the first time and the answers to the questions live for the very, very first time. They'll go backstage to vote while we're carrying on with everything else. But we'll have the launch track judgment going on while we're watching the growth track judgment. So about 90 minutes of content to get through today. So what I want to do next is have a quick chat with Claudia Brotze, our founder, to talk a little bit about what's been going on behind the scenes. Claudia started this 5 years ago, and it has to be one of the most international competitions that I've seen. So part of my background is to try and promote a startup here in Dublin a long time ago. And every competition we were in, it was a little bit of, there's a little bit from Europe, a little bit from the United States, maybe India, Australia, but I've never seen a competition that consistently, year after year, pulls in such a diverse range of, just the colours of the flags coming in, Claudia, are amazing. Just to give people a kind of a picture of that, we have Moldova, Kenya, Nepal, Belgium, USA, Italy, India, Thailand. How do you do it? How do you pull all of this together? It's such an incredible initiative, Claudia. Well done.
Thank you very much. Hello and good morning and good afternoon. A warm welcome from my side. Thank you, Kevin, for this introduction. I'm really happy to be here to open up the world's first global platform dedicated to fostering innovation and impact in the intersection of social entrepreneurship and tourism today. It's always thrilling. So it's an honor to gather today to celebrate visionary ideas and groundbreaking solutions that not only redefine tourism, but also prioritize social, environmental, and economic sustainability brought to life by entrepreneurs from around the world. This event marks a milestone in our collective journey to empower change makers who are shaping the future of tourism into a force for good. And we couldn't be more thrilled to showcase their inspiring pitches and achievements today. But first of all, I would like to thank warmly our industry partners in 2024. Without your support, this would not be possible. If we look back with this slide into the beginning of the year at ITB, we met in a great session, and then we had this journey all over the year. Some quick insights of this year's competition. I would like to show from 2040 started applications. 128 entries were approved, and now we see in this big field the 10 finalists of today. What a journey for all of them. We grew in the growth track and in the full-time commitment in comparison to former years. This means that the initiatives are becoming more and more professional, and that their impact on the tourism industry is becoming already more effective. If we look to the 10 top countries of a region that is shown here, very well, we received worldwide recognition, and that the projects are already generating an impact globally. So this year, we also have an almost equal ratio of female and male social entrepreneurs, with the women still slightly ahead. As you know, the competition is built on the implementation of the 17 SDGs. We ask every applicant about the 3 SDGs that their initiative is focusing on. This year, the most selected goals were Goal 8, decent work and economic growth, Goal 11, sustainable cities and communities, and Goal 8, reduced inequalities, which clearly shows that all initiatives are working very intensively on their current problems in their regions. A big thank goes to our judges worldwide who use their expertise and experiences to ensure that the applications are evaluated fairly and equitably. Our mentors are an essential part of the competition process. They have been working with the finalists for the last 10 weeks, providing them with expertise and individual advice in one-on-one sessions. A big thank for that.
Now, I'm going to amplify something here, Claudia, because it's not just enough to rock up here with the slide deck before the show starts. This is a process that's very active. You've selected and shortlisted kind of a real curation of each project. But those mentors have worked with each project all along the program. This isn't just, we'll see you after the finals. It's very much part of the process here. So this has consistently been the case. It's what helps cultivate and culture and ferment, for want of a better term, each idea. By the time we get the germ of it here on our stream, it's been shaped a little bit by some expertise that we've matched up with each project. So that's something that's worth bearing in mind. I'll try and name all of the mentors for each project as we go along. I'll give a little rundown of what's about to happen next. We're going to see Claudia later on in the stream while we're adjudicating the 2 tracks from the jury. But just to be super clear about the process here, the jury are going to see these pitches for the first time, as will we. We'll also get the contestants live on stage. Each startup will have a representative here live on stage with us to take one question that has been prepared from the jury. I'll be the one reading that out. Separately, there's another room backstage, a kind of a green room, so to speak, with all of the jury carefully watching all of the stream to share notes and get to their pick for who should be the first and second place. There is a prize for the first and second place winner. Some funding goes to each of those 2 top spots, and there's some generous sponsorship from the likes of Booking.com, Amadeus, Lufthansa, City Centre, ITB Berlin, and more. We'll hear a little bit more about those guys later on. Now, when you're watching this live stream, you might have seen them trickle in while we were talking there. If you're watching on YouTube, and I think on LinkedIn, we're able to feed this back to our production studio here. Make sure you tag your friends to bring them onto the stream. Share a link to this if you're watching it live or recorded. Make sure you get a little bit of engagement in the comments. You know how those algorithms love to work with content producers like ourselves for the next hour and a half. But make sure you say hello. Start by saying hello and where you're from. If you happen to be watching live, we'll flash you at the bottom of the screen. Later on, you'll be asked to vote in the process. So we'll have a special jury deciding on who's going to be the winner for each track officially and the runner-up. So we'll have 4 names to announce at the end, but also is it 1 or 2, Maria, you're going to correct me, audience awards for who was the pick from the viewers. We'll flash a QR code for you later on screen when it's time to vote. So take note, watch carefully, and let's see who we like the most. We've got 2 tracks. It's about 5 pitches in each. We're going to start with launch. That means brand new ideas from the grounds up. And our first startup that we're going to hear from is Your Accessible Flight. About, depending on your stats, 1 in 8 people traveling have difficulties with mobility or another accessibility issue. This is a pitch from Nadia Anpelagova. She's from Moldova. The project is based in Moldova and Portugal. We're going to hear from her in just a moment after her pitch. Nadia is mentored for the program by Ola Skalska, who's based in Ireland. Let's watch the pitch.
Hi, I'm Nadia from Your Accessible Flight, and I'll tell you why air accessibility matters. Imagine you can move only on this chair. What would you feel without it? This would happen to my granddad. When I was a child, he suddenly became a wheelchair user. We lived in a small town with no accessibility at all. And of course, there were no travel opportunities for people like him. That's why now it's our greatest challenge to help people with disabilities move freely, live active life, and enjoy travel. Accessibility is a must in air travel of the 21st century because it's the most common and convenient way to get from one point of the globe to another, and everyone should be able to do it without limits. Do you know that passengers with disabilities fear of damage their wheelchairs during flights? More than 70% avoid air travel because of that. And what airlines do? Airlines break 29 wheelchairs a day in the United States only. It's like they break passengers' legs every flight. That's why we created Your Accessible Flight to ensure mobility in air travel. This is a trip planner app which helps passengers with disability check if the wheelchair is suitable for the airline transportation, insure the wheelchair or other mobility aid for the period of flight, rent another wheelchair or repair it in case of breakdown or loss, and continue the trip without worries. Our users are passengers with disabilities and special needs. And our partners are service providers like airlines, insurance companies, mobility, and rentals. And we get commission from partnered paid services, from insurance, rentals, and repairs. Accessible tourism is a huge market. And global tourism loses billions of euros every year because it has nothing to offer to such travelers. But also, accessible tourism is a great opportunity to change people's lives, to reduce inequalities, to make our cities a better place for living, and to help passengers with special needs travel barrier and stress-free. Why is it important for us? We're a technically and marketing skilled team, but also we're an inclusive team, and part of the team has disability, so we know firsthand about this issue. We are not only creators, but also users of this product. Now we are at the MVP stage. We're launching in Dubai, Valencia, and Lisbon. And we finish this year in Almaty and Chisinau. To go to the next stages, we need 120k euros. This is to finish R&D, to launch our app in new airports, and to attract first paying users. Why is it important for you? No one is immune from loss of mobility and independence. Let's make air travel easy for all, because the sky has no limits. Thank you.
you know, Dave Carroll sang the song United Breaks Guitars. I was shocked by the number 29, Nadia. 29 wheelchairs get broken every day. That's incredible.
Yes, it's very sad.
That's very sad. Now, what we're going to do next is, as part of the scoring, I'm going to give you a couple of minutes to talk about some questions from the jury. We get a total of 2 minutes to cover this, so I'll start the time when I finish talking. So Phil Chan from Booking.com in the Netherlands has asked, how do you plan to increase the adoption of your app among airlines and airports to ensure that accessible services are effectively implemented in practice?
Thank you for the question. We've started with Almaty Airport in Kazakhstan because it's our home airport, and also with Chisinau Airport. This is the only airport in Moldova. And we discussed the implementation of our application there with the airlines hosted in these airports, with the airport staff. So they were very enthusiastic, and because it's also a tool not only for the passengers but for the airport staff to know about the rules of transporting the wheelchairs, the rules of helping passengers with disabilities, and also it gives the staff an opportunity to have the detailed information, the correct information, in just one touch of the screen.
We have time for an extra question if you want to keep going. Phil gave us a second one just in case we needed it. So for countries that you do not have accessibility laws for airports and airlines, how will you create a barrier-free journey in those markets, in those countries?
Thank you. First of all, the main idea is to influence these countries, these airports and airlines by good examples of what accessibility really means to passengers with disability. When our users, when our team face these problems, it's always very sad to hear this. When you Google, for example, airline break wheelchair, airline lost a wheelchair, there's a lot of stories, a lot of news about it. And when you Google, oh, this airline is amazing, so this is the best, I think this is the best motivation for them to join this process and to join our efforts.
I think it's an incredible initiative. I love the fact that you're turning anecdote into statistics as well, something that's easier to track from a more scientific and more rigorous basis. So, you know, can only credit you for that. For now, though, we have to say goodbye, Nadia. Thank you for joining us today. Best of luck with the voting later on, and hope to see you on stream later for the results. So thank you for joining us today. I have to jump straight into the next program. We've got another 4 to go on this track. Next up today is we have it is Noel Milayana from Namlolwe Kayak Excursions. He's based in Kenya. He's going to give us a little talk about today a waterways project, what you can do when the economy isn't going too well for fishermen. How can we turn them into sustainable tourist guides? We'll hear more about that in just a second. His mentor from Germany is Ryan Fuller. So let's hear from Namlolwe.
Hi guys, my name is Noel Milanya. I am the founder of Adventure Eco Trips and now team lead at Namlolwe Kayaking Excursions. Growing up by Namlolwe, or as you'd call it, Lake Victoria, I have witnessed its breathtaking beauty and the sunrises and the sunsets. I've equally witnessed the severe challenges faced by these local fishermen communities, the same community shared by Otieno. Otieno is a local fisherman at Dunga Beach, and now he's part of our team. The lake is the biggest natural resource that Otieno and others depend on. They depend on it for clean drinking water and cleaning their homes, cleaning their clothes, and for food. Fishing is the main economic activity in this area. What are the problems that we are tackling? Economic hardship and unemployment. Short story, we met Otieno one early morning fishing while we were kayaking with 2 other clients. He seemed so tired and worried of going home without a catch. And this has been a case for quite a while now. No fish means no income, and no income means he has become unemployed. this is not the only problem. We have a dwindling fish population caused by environmental degradation. The lake's ecosystem has suffered so much from pollution. And lastly, poverty has led to the rise of HIV and AIDS within the fishing community, especially among the youth and women. Namlolwe Kayaking Excursion offers a unique solution by training local fishermen to become certified kayaking guides. We provide an alternative livelihood that reduces reliance on dwindling fish supply, while also promoting sustainable tourism in Western Kenya. We focus on eco-friendly, non-motorized water excursions like kayaking. We aim to protect the lake's ecosystem from pollution and creating a model of tourism that respects nature and empowers the locals. What is our revenue model? It's quite simple. We'll be generating income from guided kayaking tours and community experiences. We also create a community value chain where we support local businesses and local vendors, accommodations, etc. We'll also be creating kayaking sports and competition, and the fees there will go directly to the community kitty. What is our impact strategy? We will be tracking the number of fishermen who are employed and trained. We will also be regularly assessing the water quality and the fish population in Lake Victoria. We will partner with local organization, health organization, to monitor the rates of HIV, AIDS among young people in the community. Who are our team members? Of course, me, Noel, and we have Otieno, who is a community member of Dunga Fishing, and we have Anne, who is our community liaison. We are looking to grow kayaking tours to additional sites along Lake Victoria, including the islands of Rusinga and Fangano. We're also seeking investment of up to $5,000 to acquire kayaks and train these guides. We are also open to partnership with other kayaking and rafting companies. Thank you so much.
Noel, joining me live from Kenya. You gave us such a panic backstage. We were trying to figure out, is he going to be on, is he going to be out? But just to be super clear, we are streaming live and you dropped the connection, something went wrong. You're okay now. You're
Yes.
with us and you're safe. Good man.
Yes.
Noel, thank you for joining us. It's great to have you live. You can't make this stuff up, but we were planning a B and C options here until we got to you. So thanks for joining us live today. We have a question that we have from your jury member here about what we might be able to do to get a little bit more perspective on this. This is from the Untours Foundation's Daniel Quintana from Florida. And his question is, besides kayaking tours, are you planning to introduce any other conservation initiatives?
Thank you so much. I'm really happy and glad to be part of this. And yeah, that's a very good question. So actually, I am a conservation steward, and I've been championing for restoring a lot of wetlands that are around Lake Victoria, and also championing for pollution-free Lake Victoria. So with some organizations and young people, especially around living in Kisumu, we've been working towards this project, and I'm glad that when this competition came up, I was able to just also put conservation as part of tourism, and yeah. So I'm really glad to be here. Yes.
Brilliant. I have another question. Do you want to chance another question?
Yes, sure.
So, in addition to the tour guide training programs, which you do,
Yes.
do you offer any other financial literacy workshops or other resources to support guides with their continued growth? And if not, is this something you might do or consider doing?
So because of this project, we want to start also as part of the training, because we'll be having like 3 sessions for the training. So the first session is for them to be trained on guiding, how to guide using the kayaks, and just overall knowledge of tour guiding. And then the second training is to create awareness on HIV and AIDS cases, just to create awareness and demystify some myths and misconception about this disease. And then the last one is financial literacy, where we'll now be training these people how to save their money and how to just invest in their money in the same project, and also in other fishing projects. Like in Kenya, we have something called merry-go-round. It's called table banking. So we'll also teach them more on financial literacy. Yeah. Thank you so much.
Okay.
Yeah.
Noel, it's wonderful to have you. We're out of time, but it was
Yeah.
great seeing that. It's great seeing an example of tourism as a lever of other change as well. It's great to see projects like this out there. So thank you for joining us, and best of luck backstage. We'll hopefully
Thank you
see
so
you later.
much. Thank
Next
you so
up,
much.
we have from Nepal a next up from Nepal, we have a type of cultural, a way of protecting protecting culture through the work of guides there. This is from a person called Dip Lakshmi Shah, and the type of project is, the name of the project is Janakpur Cultural Trails. Just for the jury who might have a sensitive ear to this, read along. Dip Lakshmi speaks very, very quickly, but the thinking is very, very clear when you read along. So we'll see Dip Lakshmi in a few minutes for some Q&A from the jury. Let's see the pitch.
Namaste, I am Deepak Shah from Nepal, a country well known for mountain, but beside mountain, Nepal has another side as well, and my project Janakpur Culture Trail is here to represent you another side of Nepal. Well, every year million of travelers from all over the world comes to visit Nepal. While Janakpur Dham is culturally significant, it is often underrepresented in Nepal's tourism sector. We have lack of sustainable tourism, our cultural heritage is at risk. To overcome from these all problems, for the first we need to preserve our culture, develop interactive culture trails that highlights both famous and lesser known culture sites, festival and tradition of Janakpur. We also partner with local artisans and performers to provide income-generating opportunities. We offer sustainable travel packages that include eco-friendly transportation and activities aimed at minimizing the environmental impact of tourism. Similarly, we also conduct workshops and raise awareness about responsible tourism behavior and environmental conservation efforts. These solutions aim to make Janakpur Culture Trail a hub of sustainable and culture tourism while benefiting the local community. Well, if we talk about revenue model, we offer theme tour package including guided tours to historical landmark, cultural performance, and workshops. The package will be priced based on the duration and depth of the experience. We also partner with local homestay, integrating accommodation into cultural experience. A portion of the booking fees will go to Janakpur Culture Trails while benefiting the local host. We also sell locally crafted product either online or on-site. This will not only support local artisans but also generate income. Organize festival like Samachakewa, Jisia, etc. Applying for grants and financial support from NGO and government organization focused on culture preservation and sustainable tourism. Well, talking about USP, Janakpur Culture Trail stand out as the first initiative to combine culture preservation, community involvement, and sustainable tourism in Janakpur Dham. Our USP include culture immersion, community collaboration, and sustainability. Transaction to date, we have successfully collaborated with the only homestay in Janakpur Dham, offering visitor a true culture experience. Partnered with local artisans to promote and support traditional craft and art, providing them a platform for income generation. We also piloted the concept with positive feedback from initial visitors who valued the deep culture connection and community engagement. If we talk about competitor, we don't have particular competitor in Janakpur Dham, but mainstream tour operators in Nepal often focus on larger cities and popular trekking routes overlooking cultural rich towns like Janakpur. The primary goal of Janakpur Culture Trail is to promote sustainable tourism while preserving the rich cultural heritage of Janakpur. Our strategy include culture preservation, economic empowerment, environmental sustainability. We focus on 3 SDGs: rainwater concentration, decent work and economic growth, sustainable cities and communities. My team include 5 member accountant, local tour guide, local chef for providing authentic local cuisine to enhance visitor cultural experience, local female tour guide, local artist who is promoting Mithila art. Together, me and my dedicated team wish to bring local expertise, cultural authenticity, and community collaboration to the heart of Janakpur cultural trial. Well, our goal is to establish Janakpur as a must-visited cultural destination, creating more economic opportunity for local communities while preserving the city's unique tradition. We also implement sustainable practices to ensure that our tourism activities have a minimal environmental footprint. We are always active on Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn. Our website is coming soon. Thank you.
Well, there we go, Diplaxmi. That was fast. I got the impression that we heard an awful lot in 4 minutes. Thank you for that. I have 2 minutes for you to get a question or two in, and these questions come from Stephanie Henneke from Lufthansa City Center there in Germany. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, listen. Now, take your time with the questions. There's no rush here. Just make sure it's clear for the jury members. But the first question from Stephanie is a distribution question. How do you plan to distribute Janakpur cultural trails experiences? Do you intend to distribute them directly to customers, B2C, or via tour operators, B2B?
We also like directly to the customer. We give our services directly to the customer. Sorry, thank you for the question.
So, in a word, are you going B2B or B2C? Are you going direct to customer, your own channel, or through?
Both.
But you're going to go both.
Yeah.
Okay, cool, very good. Another question from Stephanie as well. Do you see a potential to collaborate with other social entrepreneurs in Nepal who aim to foster community-based tourism so you can reach a broader target group?
Well, for first, like I have, it is like a problem also, like obstacle. I have tried to collaborate with different companies who are promoting this sustainable tourism, and they were like, Janakpur is like a small city, so not every traveler knows about this, and so for the first we need to make them know about Janakpur, and then after later we have to work on it, and for that they are like a bit they feel like not to collaborate with me. This is a problem, and so I'm trying my best to explain about Janakpur and the various places, and which are the various places of Janakpur which are not known to even not known to Nepalese, and but the places are so like fascinating. If one comes to visit here, will obviously like the place, and I'm trying to make a best proposal to convince them.
Very good. We're just at time. You were very clear. Thank you for joining us today, Diplaxmi. I hope to see you again later. Best of luck with the voting. Certainly the fastest pitch I've ever seen. That was amazing. Thank you for that. It was an experience. Next up, and before we go, just to give a little shout out to Emmeline Benoit from Benin, who was part of mentoring there for Diplaxmi with Janakpur Cultural Trails. Next up, we have Buslunteer, which is founded and presented here by Matteo Jackson. He's coming to us from Belgium. It's a sustainable and unique adventure and purposeful travel product. I liked it, and it's a good pitch. So his mentor is Niels Lohmann from Germany, and let's hear from Matteo after his pitch.
A lasting positive impact, not just on you, but on the community and region that you visit. That's what Buslunteer stands for. Tourism can be a mix of blessing. While it brings money into local economies, it can also harm the environment, disrupt cultural traditions, and leave communities with only a small slice of the financial benefits. At the same time, many travelers are searching for more than just a typical getaway. They want authentic, meaningful experience, but often end up in generic tourist spots, missing the chance to truly connect with the places and people they visit. Buslunteer is changing the way we travel by mixing adventure with purpose. Imagine this: a 12-meter eco-friendly bus that can hold up to 7 people with all the amenities needed, a group of happy travelers, and a shared goal to make a positive impact. During the first week, travelers will enjoy amazing activities like hiking through jungles, snorkeling in clear reefs, or exploring lively local markets. In the second week, they will join local communities to work on meaningful projects, whether it's helping with marine conservation in Mexico or supporting women empowerment in India. Want to dive even deeper? We have a 4-week program that will give them more time to fully immerse themselves, making every trip as unique as they are. Because we're more than just a travel company, we're starting a global movement. Our idea is disruptive but powerful. Send out specialized buses around the world. We will start in Mexico to later expand to new countries and projects. In Peru, we will support Andean communities. In Costa Rica, protecting wildlife. In India, Women Empowerment Initiative. This way, travelers will want to visit multiple destinations, encouraging them to return again and again. But Buslunteer isn't just about meaningful travel, it's also a compelling business case. We'll not only receive fees from each traveler, but also revenue through partnerships and sponsors, and later even focus on some B2B and corporate volunteering. Imagine buses covered in partner logos and products featured naturally in our quality content. Influencers will help us spread the word to millions as we're offering them equity in Buslunteer based on their follower count, making them part of our constant journey to spread the word fast and organically. Sponsors get exposure and we get resources to grow. It's a win-win that will help us keep making a difference. Buslunteer is set to change the way people see global tourism, but we can't do it alone. We're looking for business angels, investors, and strategic partners to help us grow. Together, we'll shake up the tourism industry and build a lasting legacy of sustainable travel. With your support, we can roll out more buses, connect with more communities, and inspire even more travelers. Through our high-quality content, we'll show the world incredible impact that can be made in every destination. Let's prove that every trip we can make a real difference. Let's reshape the travel industry, one adventure, one community, one Buslunteer trip at a time. Ready to join the ride?
I love that logo. Matteo, can you hear us? Are you coming in loud and clear? How are you today?
I'm very good, Kevin, and all the
Brilliant.
travelers from around the world.
Brilliant. Now, guys, we have a few questions. Today's questions for you, Matteo, come from Cecilia Serravalle from Amadeus. So she's based in Spain. She's sent through a few questions. We get 2 minutes together. You can get through as many as you like. It's your time. Spend it how you like. But starting off, how does Buslunteer generate income from content creation around the volunteering experiences?
So, of course, we want to partner up with brands. We're offering equity to big YouTubers. I'm finalizing some contract with them. So depending on the million of followers they have, we're giving them equity, right? They will also showcase our content and our quality content. And of course, we will try to have brands that will sponsor us and approach people organically with this very big content and influencers. They're going to spread the word rapidly. So hopefully we can increase pretty fast our followers.
A couple more questions. So let's go with number 2. How are you planning to scale the routes and destinations offered by the bus?
Yeah, so we're starting in Mexico because it's easier to get a bus from the US, and I'm also kind of half Mexican, so I know Mexico very well. The idea is to go then later on to Guatemala and Costa Rica. If things go very good, we will leave a bus in Mexico, and we will then drive another bus all the way to Costa Rica because Costa Rica has a lot of potential. Later on, we'll keep trying different places and see the approach and how welcome it is and how people like it. We are thinking about getting a double bus decker for Europe because it's easier to get over there. So we want to try different even vehicles. Maybe in the future we can get a boat even and have a boat doing volunteering and traveling at the same time. But yes, it's very scalable, and I think with a good planning, everything can be possible, and choosing the right locations also.
Matteo, I'm nearly coming in with my own questions here. I have to stick to the script, but I'm dying to have a chat with you about this again. The third
Whenever you
question
want.
we have from Cecilia is, how do you partner with local organizations and how do you select the projects for volunteers? We've got about 30 seconds.
That's a very good idea. We're partnering up with NGOs that already were in contact with them, also with universities that give a lot. I have meetings with the Mexican Chamber of Tourism that would also give us exposure. I'm also getting close with ISEC, that is a university program. Rotary might help also. So I'm partnering up with very big organizations that are around the world, and we want to normally do one project, so the same project in different locations, but one project per country.
Brilliant. Matteo Jackson, best of luck to you with the rest of the project and looking forward to that chat another time. Well done. Coming up next on our agenda for the launch track is Himalayan Women Leaders. This is with Marinelle de Jesus. We have USA as her location for this, but it's a great story of what was impossible now made possible by some really pioneering entrepreneurs. Marinelle is supported by Hubertus and Bastian, based in Germany, as mentors. So looking forward to hearing more from Marinelle in a few minutes after we hear her pitch.
Started with a hiker's dream. A dream to hike 140 days on the Great Himalaya Trail in Nepal, which is the longest high-altitude trek in the world. So I asked tour agencies to arrange a female Nepali guide to trek with me. To my dismay, I was told repeatedly, no, Nepali female guides don't trek 140 days in the Himalayas. It's impossible, a crazy idea. So I started researching on my own. After months of research and just before almost giving up, I found Mingmar, a Sherpa trekking guide who, like me, dreamed of walking 140 days on the Great Himalaya Trail. With Mingmar by my side, the GHT Women Leaders on the Trail campaign was born. Starting from Kanchenjunga, we walked westbound until Annapurna for more than 100 days. It turns out, this was just the beginning of solving the biggest problem affecting female guides in the trekking industry, the lack of visibility. Hi, I'm Marinelle. Mingmar and I are thrilled to be here. As you can see, hiring a female guide is close to impossible for long distance treks, and even for shorter routes, the issues are no less difficult. Female guides are also less likely to get field training. Overall, women are just not visible compared to their counterparts in the industry or media. Here's how we want to solve this problem. We'll make female guides front and center on an online platform that showcases their credentials as trekking guides. Travelers and tour operators can book on the 1,700-kilometer Himalayan trail based on a questionnaire that will match them with the right guide. Customers can have the service of a female guide for however long they want, even for more than 100 days. For female guides, we'll take a holistic approach towards supporting their career by providing all types of training, including leadership and safety, online, in class, and on the trail. We'll make systemic changes in the industry by making women visible in all aspects of it. So we'll also promote female guides as part of the workforce by providing consultation to tour operators who are committed to gender equity, while our platform will serve as an educational resource on women and guide-related topics. Initially, sponsorships, donations, and grants will help us develop our initiative while targeting the second year for consumer driven revenue. Our impact strategy includes surveys of female guides in our program and feedback from customers and our tour operators. An increase in number of female guides with increase in field trainings, media exposure, demand from consumers are some of the factors we'll measure over time. And on a systemic level, we'll monitor the level of awareness of gender equity issues within the industry. It's also important for us to monitor the personal and professional growth for female guides. Overall, our impact strategy supports our commitment to the following SDGs. We're proud to be an all women team, working together to create gender equity in an industry that we love. Sajana also happens to be a third place winner from the 2022 competition. Her organization Eco Hub Nepal shares our vision and makes for a strong partnership. For our next steps, initial funding will help us create our online platform and develop training programs. We also seek strategic and marketing partners who align with our mission for creating equity and inclusion. As for the next steps for Myanmar and myself, the lessons we learned from hiking 100 days are not lost. Myanmar made history as the first Nepali female guide to walk 100 days on the Himalayan trail. Myanmar was the first, but she will not be the last. In fact, Mingmar and I want to invite you to go on a journey back to the Himalayas with us. Only this time, we'll go on a journey bigger than ourselves, a journey towards making dreams come true on the trails while creating gender equity one step at a time. Thank you for having us. We hope you join us in the Himalayas.
Marinelle, that's a phenomenal product. Congratulations so far. Well done to get this far in the competition. I have 2 minutes of questions for you to help understand your project a little bit more. And these come from Claudia Barozza, our founder. So spend as much time as you like on each question, but if you want, I've got a second question for you here. Are you ready?
Yes, I hope you can hear me. Hopefully my internet goes okay.
You're coming through loud and clear. You're coming through loud and clear. So the first question from
Awesome,
Claudia
great.
is, you are talking about licensed trail leaders. Who is organizing the license, and is the license itself internationally recognized?
Well, every female guide has to be licensed to work with any tour operator. So it's already something that's already preset for every guide that we put on the platform. So this is something that the women will seek themselves to begin with. It's part of our criteria for them to participate in our initiative. So the licensing is something that each and every female guide must get to work on the Himalayan trail. So it's not something we are going to be responsible for. We're elevating their status based on the fact that they're licensed guides and are qualified equally as men.
Okay. So the second question from Claudia here is, how do you find the women who want to become trail leaders, and how many are there already?
Yes, good question. How do we find them? They exist, but you have to find them. Thanks to Mingmar, who's my partner, she was the starting point. This story has a story behind it, which is actually the fact that I just wanted to trek the 100 days in Himalayas, realizing that Mingmar is not just one person who wants to do Himalayan trail. There's 140 women right now who's part of her group, all licensed female guides who want to do this. And when we finished the trail, they kept knocking on our doors asking if we'll do it again, because they feel like they never get the chance to walk longer than 3 or 4 or 5 days on the trail, because they're only allotted to do the most popular, easier trails on those 1,700-kilometer trails. So they exist. I want people to know we're not creating anything new. We're building them up and making them visible to the world.
That's great. I can only wish you the best with the initiative. It's great to have that kind of segmentation and that availability for such a great project. So power to you, and best of luck in the voting later. But for now, Marinelle, thank you for joining us live on the stream. I have some housekeeping to do, and for once, it's not anything to do with the contestants or who's taking part. Our 10 wonderful finalists for the competition we're now about halfway through, but I have some work for our audience. So if you are watching live or if you are watching a recording, it is time, of course, to make some comments or do something for the algorithm, like share a link with your friend. But if you're watching live in particular, it's time to get the phone out. Scan the QR code to go to the voting link. Also type it astutely and quickly if you can see it. socialtourismcompetition.com/vote, all capitals. So there you'll be able to choose the audience pick for the launch track. So at that point, we'll be able to pick who of the previous 5 pitches, including Q&A, you enjoyed the most. And we'll announce a winner from the launch track and a winner from the growth track later on. As of this moment, we've heard 5 pitches and we've heard 5 Q&As from launch contestants. They're now off screen until maybe we hear from 1 or 2 of the winners later on. But the jury has now to sequester on the launch track pitches that they've just heard. They're about to go and decide who will be the best among them. We're going to switch back over to that slide, Maria, whenever you can. We're going to hear a little bit from some of our partners in this competition who have been instrumental in making this all possible. Brands that we all recognize, worldwide recognizable brands. Ryan Fuller from ITB Berlin, Nina Kohler from Lufthansa City Centre, Michelle Weiser from Booking.com, and Audrey Mourgiard from Amadeus. Thank you all for joining me live on stage here. We've got a few minutes together, but you're all basically going to answer the same question. And feel free to try and do one better than the last person that spoke. But the main reason that we're all here today is to support something that's quite... it's a new vertical for the business. It's a new economy that we can all discover and explore together, but it takes grassroots entrepreneurs like we've just seen to make this possible. But I need to hear from you, from each of your organizations. Why do you think it's important to support social enterprises in tourism? And only because you're first on my screen, Ryan, I'm going to pick on you first. Can you tell us a little bit about why you think that's the case for you?
Hi, Kevin. Hi, everyone. And hi to the social entrepreneurship team. Thank you for inviting me to be a part of this competition, this event today. It's my first time, so I'm thoroughly enjoying it. And as a mentor too, it's been a great experience. ITB Berlin is proud to support this platform, which highlights innovative approaches to solving real-world challenges in tourism. From creating opportunities for local communities to driving sustainable growth. I would like to also say congratulations to all the contestants for your dedication and for turning visionary ideas into actionable solutions. Your work is making a tangible impact, and ITB Berlin is honored to support initiatives like yours that are shaping the future of travel. I would also like to just take a short moment to also warmly welcome everyone or invite you to join us at ITB Berlin next year in 2025, so we can continue this important conversation and showcase your incredible contributions to the industry. Thanks, Kevin.
It'll be great to see some of those projects on the shop floor, so to speak, in Berlin at Messe, whether it's as a stand or a startup or some other kind of context for it. It is where the world meets. I'm convinced that every CEO from every famous airline flashes their CEO through that immense exhibition park once a year. So it's definitely the place to be every March. Nina, can you tell us the same question to you? And feel free to play off what Ryan said. I think it's why is it important for you to and for Lufthansa City Centre to support this kind of initiative?
Hi, Kevin. Hi, everybody. We are super excited to support the social entrepreneurship project and be part of this competition. Lufthansa City Centre is the world's largest independent travel agency franchise network. And for almost 15 years, sustainability has been part of our work. We see that social sustainability in the tourism industry has room for improvement in many cases in country. And we also think that companies that have integrated social sustainability in their core business are rather underrepresented. On the other hand, the tourism industry has so much potential to make a real difference by creating business models that focus on social and environmental sustainability. It's about supporting local communities and protecting national resources. Thoughtful tourism can truly have a huge impact. At Lufthansa City Centre, we see this potential every day throughout our global network of partners. We believe that collaboration, sharing ideas, learning from one another, and building on our collective strengths is the key to unlock solutions that can transform tourism for the better. We have already seen many fascinating startups during our jury work this summer, and we were very impressed by so many outstanding ideas and concepts. That's the reason why we are so happy to be part of the support team and hope to play our part in strengthening social sustainability in our industry.
4 amazing brands on screen here. Michelle, same question to you.
Thanks, Kevin, and thanks all for having us at such a wonderful platform. Thanks for the organization behind the social tourism competition for having us and for being able to join this amazing competition. It's been an honor to be mentoring as well. And I think there's 2 reasons for us to join the program here. The first one is that it's in our mission to enable everyone to experience the world. And the word everyone and the world is really important here. So how do we enable everyone? It doesn't matter where you come from, how big your wallet is, that we enable everyone to experience travel, experience the world, either if it's close by, far away, and do this in a sustainable way, so we make sure that we have a world to visit for the next generations to come. And the second reason is that I believe that we need to facilitate innovation and to get together all these wonderful innovators. And I think the first part of this amazing show has already showed the proof of the pudding. It's kind of like the amazing startups we've seen in the first pitches. Really curious to the second part of the pitches is that we wanted to bring entrepreneurs together to share their experiences, to learn from each other, and to be able to get an amazing network of facilitators, mentors to help them accelerate their amazing work.
It's something that I have not seen ever anywhere else, Michelle and folks. It's never been something that is so diverse, whether it's the map of the origins of, and look, a startup can be anywhere, but we get a real range of voices, of ideas, and the sharing, the melting pot that comes from that is much bigger than the sum of the parts. I think it is truly an unusual and unique and amazing initiative. So I can only say good things about it. But it's great to hear your voices there too. And Audrey from Amadeus, it's great to see your brand associated with us. Also, 4 great brands. Why are you involved? I'm thrilled to find out.
Yes, thank you. So indeed, you may not know us. We are a B2B company, so not all everybody knows us. Our technology powers the global travel and tourism industry. And on the social side, why we are here, we want to make travel a catalyst for positive change by fostering inclusion every step of the way. And when we talk about inclusion at industry level, what we mean is empowering small businesses in travel and collaborating with business partners to advance social innovation. And social innovation and this social entrepreneurship competition in tourism is been this journey, like we have been able to collaborate with other major industry players of the industry, meet impact-driven entrepreneurs, and in the jury, my colleague Cecilia has been able to scout and identify the great social entrepreneurs that will benefit from the mentoring and maybe winning this competition. So we are very happy to be a partner of this competition, and we are looking forward to knowing who will win. Actually, we will provide visibility to them and more from the Amadeus side, so can't wait.
Well, we might see you later on in the competition. We know that your reach is definitely throughout the competition, and we have to thank you for that. But until we can all meet together for some beer and currywurst in ITB Berlin, I have to thank you, my 4 wonderful partners, for joining me on stage here to talk a little bit about the competition and what it means to you. Thank you for now. We have to tick on with the rest of the competition. We're moving on to something different. We've had the first steps. The hardest step sometimes is the first step. How you get something off the ground from literally nothing. You might have had the idea, the back of the napkin, and it gets to a stage where in Nepal or in Kenya, you're building something new. Sometimes projects are up and running, and it's important to recognize the earliest stage, but also establish startups as well. We're going to hear more pitches, but from established companies. And we're going to start with Astrostays. I haven't heard this pitch, but Maria backstage has told me that this is tourism for the sky, and I can't wait to hear this. But Astrostays is supported by Daniel Roquette, based in Singapore, as the mentor, and we'll be hearing from Sonal Asgotra later to hear from some jury questions for her. So let's hear the pitch first, Maria. Thank you.
Hi everyone, my name is Sonal Asgotra and I'm representing Astrostays, which is a finalist in the growth track in social entrepreneurship competition. Among the many things that have changed post-pandemic, one of the biggest trends that have emerged in the travel industry is that the travelers want to move away from massive built-up hotspot and overcrowded destinations to areas that are remote and offbeat. And by the very nature of it, astrotourism, some of the biggest vantage points for astrotourism are located in destinations that are in remote and rural areas. Now, the humankind has been fascinated by the cosmos since thousands and thousands of years. But unfortunately, more than 80% of human population today lives under extremely light polluted skies. Astrostays is a community-based astrotourism initiative that leverages the power of astronomy-based tourism to create unique socio-economic opportunities for local communities that are residing in very remote and rural areas. It integrates various local elements of that geography, right from stargazing to local folklore, heritage, and culture. Now, the biggest asset in astrotourism, which is the skies, never need to be maintained and developed. So it's one of the most sustainable and regenerative forms of tourism. The business model, of course, stargazing is the star of the entire experience, but we have also tried to create as many different channels of revenue generation for the community. Astrotourism necessitates overnight stays. So accommodations which are being booked by the travelers who are coming for the stargazing in dark sky experience significantly contributes to the revenue creation in the community. Then handicraft is also another revenue channel through which the local women who are weaving pashmina, handicrafts, etc., are able to find a direct marketplace. This is the revenue contribution that has been from the different elements of the entire model. The USP is that it's a very niche community tourism experience that integrates not just stargazing, but also accommodation, gastronomy, and handicrafts as additional revenue drivers for the local communities. We call our team members astropreneurs. They are not amateur astronomers or scientists, but they are local community members who have been trained on basics of astronomy and hospitality and conduct these stargazing and dark sky experiences. The impact has been all the bookings are digitally done on different OTAs, and 80% goes to the community. Women are really encouraged to lead this initiative. And the scientific temper has also seen a significant increase ever since we have started this initiative, and promoting entrepreneurship has also been one of the KPIs. And these are the numbers so far from the last year. That's the team. As for the growth plans, we are looking at various geographies that have similar dark skies and local communities. Africa is a big potential destination, which is primarily a wildlife economy, but because they have beautiful dark skies at night, the rangers and the wildlife guides, or even the local communities residing there, can be trained on astronomy to complement the wildlife experiences with stargazing experiences as well. So as a next step, we are looking at, conducting Astrostays, replicating and scaling the Astrostays model for night safaris as well, and leveraging astrotourism for preserving local culture and heritage. Thank you.
Sunal, it's a pity you couldn't see me backstage. I split myself laughing. I loved the lingo of astropreneur. I hope it sticks. I hope you do well, because I'd like to see that language stay in the world. I think it's an incredible story. Thank you for joining us. I have 2 minutes for you to, and 2 questions, so spend as much time as you like on each. But I have a question or two from Nanaya Fakoya Smith from the Naneuwa Hub in Nigeria for you. And the first question there is, what sustainable business models has Astrostay implemented to positively impact the environmental, economic and social aspects of the community it serves? Take it away.
I love that question, because I think in a way that's essentially what the core of our business model is. Now, astrotourism to a layman would essentially mean scientific experiences, basically going to planetariums or observatories, or essentially tours that are led by amateur astronomers. For example, there are these solar eclipse chases, meteor chases, but all of that is essentially done by experts and people who really have been initiated into astronomy. The whole idea of Astrostays was that using astronomy-based tourism as a vehicle and a tool, where we have been, building the capacity and skills of the local community, not just in astronomy, but also in tourism, to conduct these stargazing experiences. So all of the revenue, because it's a very community-owned model, the community has a direct share in the revenue that's being generated by it. And I think there was a question on sustainability part of it. So I think in the pitch also I mentioned that one of the biggest assets that we use in astrotourism, of course, there's infrastructure like telescopes, and there are also homestays and accommodations that the travelers are using. But the skies, they never need to be maintained and developed, and I think that it makes it a really sustainable form of tourism.
Once you get the location right and you've got a clear line of sight, I think you're okay. What additional future plans does Astrostay have to further develop its current business model?
Right. I think we're just getting started. Astrotourism, I think, is a subset of experiential tourism. It's just the starting point of a thread that not just integrates, dark sky experiences, but once you have those experiences in place, you can, very tightly knit together the local elements, which is culture and heritage and accommodations. And even because these are nighttime excursions, and people usually stay till dinner time as well, it also gives an opportunity for the communities to display their culinary skills as well. So that is also one additional form of revenue generation that comes across. So our vision is to scale again it in geographies where that have similar dark skies. It doesn't have to be a dark sky park or reserve, fairly dark skies, and then with local communities working together with that. So that's the plan.
Brilliant. So now, best of luck to you with the competition. There are 3 spots open to you, first runner-up and, of course, the audience choice as well. But for now, thank you. Your time is up. We have to move on to the next project here. Moving on, this one is coming to us from Kenya, and in something that I've never seen in a pitching competition before. This will be coming, actually, I'll save it for after. But there's something that's quite remarkable about the contestant that's joining us later. This is a sustainable fashion project, and it's Khalifast Fashion Design, and Christina Fazili Calabanya will be joining us just after. So let's hear the pitch first.
Hello, I'm by name Fadili Kalibanya Christine, a social entrepreneur and founder of Khalifast Fashion Design. At Khalifast, we are transforming lives by empowering refugee women through sustainable fashion. In Kenya, over 75% of the 782,468 refugees are women and children. Many of them face severe unemployment due to cultural and systemic barriers like language difficulty and early marriage. At the same time, 92% of the country's plastic are mismanaged. Khalifas offer a solution by combining economic empowerment with environmental sustainability. We train refugee women through tailoring skills. We help them to become economically self-sufficient and creative. We also transform recycled plastic waste into fashionable items. Our products and services include tailoring training, bags, wedding dresses, graduation gowns, and cultural clothes. Our growth has been remarkable. Monthly production has increased by 50%, and we have already established partnership with NGOs like RICAN, SOS, and DCA to further scale our impact. We are targeting eco-conscious consumer, local buyers, and international buyers. We use social media platforms to market our product and reach our target audience. Here is a testimonial example. Alliance Tumaini Chiza, she's a refugee woman who couldn't get job due to language barrier. She joined our 3-month internship. She graduated and now she's leading our production team. Social impact and achievement. Since January 2024, we have trained 20 women in tailoring. We have recycled 200 kg of plastic. We have produced 300 fashion items and generated 24,000 Kenyan shilling from production sales and services. Vision and growth plan. We plan to expand beyond Kakuma by partnering with local organizations in other refugee camps and regions to reach an international market and give our product visibility. We launch an online sales platform. We also generate revenue from women we empower. Khalifas is leading by 3 passionate young women. Fadili Kalibanya Christine, she's a social entrepreneur, founder, changemakers, and 2023 award-winning. Lillian Vinsa, she's a designer, skilled in financing and community mobilization. Alliance Tumaini Chiza, she's a trainer and graduate of Khalifast. By 2025-2026, we aim to recycle 500 kg of plastic, train 50 women in tailoring and business skills, produce over 700 fashion items. To achieve those goals, we are seeking 100,000 USD in funding and expected ROI of 10% in 3 years. Impact for the funding. The funding will help us train 50 additional women, recycle over 1 ton of plastic, and expand our production while buying more electrical machines. Finally, through your support, we can turn those goals into reality while creating lasting impact in both the environment and the life of refugee women. Thank you.
Before we get Christine on the call, just to remind you that you are voting. If you're watching live, you can vote for the winners of your own choice for the winners of the launch track. That's the 5 pitches we saw at the beginning of the contest. You're ready to jump over to socialtourismcompetition.com/vote. For those of you who are watching live, it wouldn't hurt for us to have a few more introductions for the algorithm. Tell us where you are if you're enjoying the competition. Fill up the comments and the conversation, please, as well as sharing the link with a friend who might be interested before or after the end of the live stream. So, in case you missed it, Christine, first for me, Christine is joining us from a refugee camp. And I've never seen this before in my professional career in travel. Christine, are you coming through okay? Can you hear us?
Yes, I can.
Very good. I'm still in shock. I'm still in awe as to your amazing project and the context that you're building it in. Fair play to you and power to you. I have questions for you from Ali Hongo from Japan Travel Awards in Tokyo. You have 2 minutes to give us any answers you like, and you have an extra question if you have time at the end. Ali asks, how do you plan to generate income from the products you create? And where can people purchase them? And how do you intend to market them to a broader audience?
Okay, thank you for the question. As Khalifast Fashion Design, we are planning to generate income from the services and products that we generate. I said, at Khalifast, we train refugee women in tailoring and we normally generate some income, but also we have some products like graduation gowns and cultural clothes. So those are our source of income, and this is the only way we think we can generate the revenue. But also we are planning to partner with NGOs and international NGOs, and also to launch a low license platform to reach international buyers. This will enable us to generate more income and expand our product and visibility to give our product visibility.
Okay. I have another question if you like. What is the greatest challenge you're currently facing in further growing the business, and how do you plan to use the funds if you win the competition?
Sorry, what did you say?
The question is, what is the greatest challenge you're currently facing to grow the business, and how do you plan to use the funds if you win the competition?
Okay, first of all, Halifax is facing several challenges, like their demand is very high, and our space or production is very low. So we have facing a challenge of production because of equipment and food that we use. This is our first challenge. The second is the second challenge is about our place that we normally run the product. It is very small to accommodate many refugee women. We found like you may have more than 20 women who want to come and run, but our space is not is is not. We are seeking to expand the places, and the other question was like, how do
How do you plan? How will you use the funds? What will you spend the money on if you win?
okay, if I win this competition, the fund I will allocate the fund in expanding our premises, buy more sewing machine to that will allow us to empower more women, and also to increase our production and revenue to generate more revenue from the production that we be selling, but also build partnership and within in other refugee camps. I think.
Christine, it's a first for me. I wish you all the best for the competition. There's 3 prizes up for grabs, so I can only wish you the best. But for now, it's time up for us, and I'm going to send you off and wish you well in everything from here in Dublin while we move on to the next entry in the competition. So we have, in the space of online travel agents, that's kind of the industry term for a website that lets you book travel, usually Flights Plus or Hotels Plus something else. Simone Rigoni from Italy has founded Orma Guides and is scaling it up in this track as a way to position an online travel agency for a younger market and with purpose. Simone is supported by Michel Weisser from Booking in the Netherlands. So let's hear his pitch first, and we'll have him on for questions in about 4 minutes. Over to Simone.
Hi there, this is Simone. I'm the founder and CEO of Orma Guides. I'm a passionate traveler, and this led me to develop an online travel agency called Orma Guides to help younger generation travel with a bigger purpose by creating thematic trips hosted by inspiring people. We all know by now how destination-led tourism harm places and have grown a very bad reputation. Luckily, younger generation want to travel differently by immersing themselves in personal passions like art, food, politics, nature, but there are no services that cater to this, nor traditional OTA are responding to it. Furthermore, the creator economy is booming, and influencers struggle to monetize their following. They lack the tools and the support to grow their business. Welcome, Orma, a company at the forefront of this new travel paradigm. We create immersive journeys hosted by some of the world's most inspiring individuals, from activists to scientists to artists. For our audience, it's less about visiting the Eiffel Tower and more about attending an art fair with a beloved artist or meeting their chef idol in person. So by blending the influencer economy with purpose-driven journeys, we are redefining what it means to travel in the 21st century. We're building a scalable business with a strong moat and good margins. Today, Orma revenues come from selling group trips that are unlike anything else on the market. Tomorrow, we are creating a platform where travel non-professionals can plan and sell directly to their communities. This model will be highly scalable, where Orma will provide the IT infrastructure and OTA license and keep a 15% profit margin. We have launched our travel product in September of this year. We've sold 52 tickets out of 4 trips. We quickly brought on board 15 creators, and we are designing trips for 2025, aiming for a 300K supply listed on our website. For 2026, with the launch of the marketplace, we're aiming for 1.5 million unique trip supply and to sign over 150 inspirational hosts. Looking to the right at the competition, what distinguishes us from other agencies such as Expedia or We Road is our focus on nurturing a sense of purpose and passion led in traveling that doesn't exist anywhere else. Orma is built on a do-good impact model. We have identified the SDG number 11 and 12 and quantified the targets we want to achieve by 2026, such as the hours dedicated to education and cultural awareness, and our commitment to visit NGOs while traveling. I'm Simone. I'm a repeat founder in travel with an exit to an American group. Julia and Elena take care of our image and positioning, as well as being travel creators. Federico, as COO, optimize all operational aspects of running an OTA. Hopefully, I convinced to come traveling with us soon. If you know inspiring people that could host trips, please let us know. Next year, we're also opening a financing round of 500K on a safe structure. If you're looking for an extraordinary team with an innovative business model in one of the world's largest industries, come talk to us. Thanks very much.
Ciao Simone, thank you for joining us live to take some questions from the jury. Best of luck with this. You sound very polished anyway. I love what you're doing, so power to you. This one comes from Claudia Brotzev. That's our founder. She's based in Germany, of course. And you have two questions. You can spend 2 minutes any way you like. But the first question from Claudia is, you characterize Orma as an OTA, an online travel agency. So how you make sure that, let me start this one again. I had a bit of a wobble there, Simone. I got tripped over all of the letters there trying to explain them. And look, it's not, let me just do it again. You characterize Orma as an OTA. So how do you make sure that the partners you're contributing are contributing to the same goals, the sustainable development goals, quality management, so to speak? So how do you make sure that your partners believe in the same things that you do?
Yeah. Hi, Kevin. Thanks for hosting me today. Well, that's a very interesting question, and I think it's a critical one to call our business model an impact, a do-good business model. Well, we vet very carefully these people, these creators that we want to lead our trips. And so we actually, we research, we meet them, we talk to them, we design the trip together with them. And in doing so, we make sure that we hit the SDGs that we have identified. So for example, we make sure that we visit a certain amount of NGOs during our trips, or we make sure that we do some activities in these trips that meet the SDG goals. And likewise, given that a big thing about our trips is the educational aspect, is the learning aspect, we make sure that we have a good amount of hours that are literally focusing the thematic topic of that trip, being fashion, being sustainable art, being, food waste and things like that.
You might have time for a quick answer to this. We're running out of time, but if you can, in just 15 seconds, how do you decide on which destination or trip to add? So Claudia sees at the moment that there are 7 very different cities and regions, Brussels, Morocco, Freiburg, Rome, on your website. So it's kind of a content question. How are you creating new products and trips? Very briefly.
Well, very briefly, it's not about the where, but it's about the why. So we start with the theme, and then eventually we look for the destination. So that's why we are a very different OTA.
So you might pick, like you said, food waste, or you might take fashion in a certain destination, and that might spurn another destination somewhere else. So it's certainly a funny blend to see here, the way Claudia has presented it. So it's good to know that there's an origin behind it. Simone, our time is up. I would fill 2 hours with you, but I have to leave it at 2 minutes. So I'm sorry I have to send you on your way. Best of luck with the voting. And it's lovely to meet you, however short, today for the Social Entrepreneurship Competition in Tourism. Up next is another, I wonder will I get tripped up on this one, but we have another 3-letter acronym, which travel is, of course, very famous for. This is for Destination Management Company, a DMC based out of Thailand. It's a lady called Iwan Clucky. Her startup is Tripseed. She's scaling it, and her mentor, who's been helping along, is Natakorn Aidahaya from Thailand. Let's hear from Iwan.
a social purpose destination management company in Thailand. We founded Tripseed in 2021 to tackle key challenges in Thailand destination management sector. Traditional DMC models often lead to economic inequality, with most tourism revenue going to overseas stakeholders, leaving little for local individuals, businesses, and communities. Additionally, gaps in leadership diversity and gender and nationality pay equality hinder tourism potential to foster sustainable local development. Tourism also strains natural resources and damages local ecosystem. Furthermore, Thailand's DMC sector is dominated by foreign-owned businesses that use profit shifting, tax evasion, and anti-competitive practices, stifling local businesses, weakening local economies, and draining resources needed for sustainable development. Tripseed Solutions turns destination management into a force for socio-economic good. We provide immersive tours that maximize local economic impact and social equality. Our model emphasizes fair pay, gender equality, and responsible sourcing, empowering local economies and stakeholders. We have eliminated pay gaps and implemented protections for freelance guides and drivers. Where we don't self-operate, we prioritize locally owned businesses, especially those led by women and minority groups. While these are all valuable improvements, they remain limited to Tripseed's sphere of influence. To extend our impact, we launched our pioneering economic distribution disclosure initiative. This groundbreaking framework, designed for global scalability, improves transparency around tourism revenue flows, revealing its true economic beneficiaries.
Tripseed's revenue model is self-sustaining, coming from the sale of products and services to travel agents and tour operators around the world. We have achieved sales growth from 250,000 baht in 2021 to over 20 million baht in 2023. Tripseed's traction is evident in our passenger growth, rising steadily from 34 in 2021 to over 1,000 this year, alongside revenue per pax growing over 295%, a clear sign of strong demand and market fit. Our commitment to transparency has resonated with the travel trade globally. This approach, combined with Tripseed's emphasis on the fair treatment of local employees and local ownership, truly differentiates us in the DMC sector. We've also gained industry recognition, including a Gold Award for making travel inclusive, and have received expressions of interest in our economic distribution disclosure initiative from major industry players. Furthermore, our clients regularly commend our responsiveness, expertise, and innovative approach, which all reinforce Tripseed's competitive advantage and growth potential.
Tripseed aligns with key UN SDGs by promoting gender equality through pay, benefits, and opportunities, and supporting women-led businesses via gender-responsive procurement. We advance reduced inequalities by fostering local ownership, creating genuine leadership opportunities, and ensuring equitable economic impact. For decent work and economic growth, we minimize economic leakage, ensure fair work conditions, and promote a more balanced distribution of tourism's benefits. 50% of profits are reinvested to further these goals. We measure impact by tracking carbon emissions intensity, monitoring pay and benefit parity, and protecting casual workers, while our Economic Distribution Disclosure Initiative quantifies local economic benefit. Tripseed was founded by myself, Ewan Clucky, as Director of Growth, along with June as Director of Inbound and Nat as Director of Purpose, each bringing expertise to core areas of our business. Next, we'll launch Phase 2 of our Economic Distribution Disclosure Initiative and publish a corporate tax disclosure and tax ethics policy to highlight tourism's real economic impact on sustainable development beyond marketing slogans and reinforce our commitment to fiscal transparency and ethical financial practices. We will also complete our disclosure of progress on gender-responsive procurement. We are pursuing more industry collaborations to scale our work on economic benefit distribution in tourism, aiming to establish it as a global standard for sustainability reporting. Only through working collaboratively towards this goal can we shift the narrative of sustainability in tourism and ensure that host countries and the communities within them are truly seeing the benefit and value of tourism and not just paying the costs for it.
It's one of those moments when the gremlins come to visit us during a live show. We've lost Ewan, who is scrambling to restart all of the tech on his side. So the connection is going to come back in just a moment. But that lets us catch up on some housekeeping. We have, as you know, we've got two tracks here. We've got the launch and growth track. Launch has now concluded. All of the juries are sequestered. They're deciding, but it's still time for you to vote. You can pick who you thought was the best. And you can pick who you've seen so far. This is the fourth of 5 pitches that we have in the growth track. So if you're absolutely convinced, or you've got one of your friends who's just pitched and you're ready to go in with your own vote for the growth track, feel free. The link is the same for both, socialtourismcompetition.com/vote. Grab your phone, snap the QR code, or head over to the link manually. If you're watching live, make sure to share with your friends so that they can join, and tag, comment and share. We're streaming this live on the travelmassive.com platform, as well as through LinkedIn and YouTube Live. Now, Maria backstage has told me that we have you, and are you with us? There we go. Clucky, how are you doing from Tripseed?
Hi there.
I'm not going to jinx it. I'm going to start the clock just in case we only get you for 2 minutes, but we'll start the timer, see how you get on. But I've got 2 wonderful questions here from Pollyanna de Oliveira from VRA Travel in New York. And if you're ready to go, here we go. If and how you work with bringing in English-speaking or multilingual guides, how do you manage to keep remuneration equitable between guides and community members?
So in Thailand, by law, all guides have to be local in order to get a tour guiding license. And so there are general, well, not disparities, but second language guides such as German speaking, Spanish speaking, French speaking will generally get slightly more than English speaking guides. But then it can also vary depending on what region of Thailand you're looking in as well. So in Bangkok, for example, in the urban hub, generally it's more expensive than upcountry somewhere like Chiang Mai. So in general, we compare ourselves against our industry, competitors and other companies within the industry. And in general, we're within the top 10% of payers as far as our guide fees goes. And we also introduce guide fee protections, because one thing that you see a lot happening here in Thailand is that if a trip is cancelled, the DMCs will usually just pocket that money. So the financial protections that we rolled out ensure that all guides receive the money, regardless of if a trip runs or not. So does that answer your question?
That's good. Well, I'm just relaying great questions here from Pollyanna. So we still have time for the second question. You've got about 30 seconds. But in my recent travels to Thailand, they say one thing that stood out to me was that I didn't see many Thai people traveling. Is there something you plan on doing in your growth that will encourage more local Thai travelers, more accessible trips, perhaps?
So actually, when we started off Tripseed back in 2021, it was all domestic Thai travelers that we had, because the country was closed due to the global pandemic. But because of the way we operate as a DMC, usually it's much more viable under the DMC model to work with overseas operators who are sending clients to Thailand. So we work with the overseas B2B travel trade mainly. We do still do some domestic travel, and we're looking at branching out into more short-haul markets such as China and India, which will obviously have that will help us, cut down on our carbon emissions intensity as well, with people having to fly a shorter distance to get here. We haven't sort of dropped out of the domestic market completely, but it's not a sort of area of focus for us, just because of the way the market works over here. Thai travel agencies won't usually work with DMCs. They'll usually work directly with other sort of very local suppliers, similar to the same supply, well, many of which are the same suppliers that we use ourselves.
Iwan, I can only wish you all the best with the rest of the competition. I hope we see you again. Well done to get this far. I know it's been a journey before the pitch. You didn't just turn up and stream today. You've been working with our mentors for the last couple of weeks. So I hope it's been a great relationship and great things are ahead. So power to you. It's coming up on our last pitch today. A little update from backstage here. And I know there isn't any real fraud going on and nobody's trained a ChatGPT bot to do any of the voting, but we've got about 1,600 votes in so far for the audience favourites. So the prize is, of course, the joy of being voted the audience favourite, but it is still an accolade. It's still an accolade for messaging all the same. So 1,600 votes so far. Looking forward to seeing who the overall winners on the 2 tracks are. Make sure to get your vote in at socialentrepreneurshiPcompetition.com/vote. Now, last pitch of the afternoon before we sequester the second jury, the growth jury. We have Mirko Cipollone from Italy, and his project is Appennini for All. He's supported by a mentor that I've swapped tabs for in Boston, USA, Carol Carlson. We're looking forward to hearing from Mirko in just a moment, but first, let's see the pitch.
Hello, I'm Mirko, and today I will present you my inclusive tour operator, Appennini for All. Appennini for All is trying to solve 2 big problems. From the touristic side, lack of activities in nature for disabled people. From the political side, lack of collaboration between public and private projects of accessible tourism. In general, we can call it social inclusion, involvement of people with disability in social life. And how we do it? We love to go to the mountain and nature with people with disability, as you can see in the photo with the Jolette. We love to share the idea with kids that can make activities also with kids with disability. We're providing trainings to touristic guides, and in general, we are trying to split the idea, the concept that is possible to break down the barriers between the able-bodied world and the disabled world. So we are working on the universal access. About the revenue model, we start from the definition of social tourism. Social tourism is also called tourism for all because its aim is to make tourism accessible, including for disadvantaged people. A lot of associations, they work with people with disability, but they have really high price. In our case, we are trying to solve this problem, answering to local, national, and European call for proposal, launching crowdfunding campaign, and splitting the cost for an inclusive activity equally among the participants. What we did in the past. In the first year, we were working on a passion project, launching ourselves in the market. Second year, working with small groups. This year, we already started to work with big groups and giving first consultation and selling a lot of touristic packages. What about the future? You will discover in the last slide. Our activities expand from one-time events to regularly scheduled events. We are unique. No competitors on Italian market and maybe nor at the European level. All the other providers of similar service being an association or charity type subjects. We have a unique offering for reporting gaps on tourist accessibility in mountains and nature. Currently, our core business is represented by consultancy service advising public and private entities on touristic accessibility. In the central photo, you can see me testing a special wheelchair on new pet on the biggest national park of Italy. Our income is increasing a lot since the first year, and this means that our model is working. Based in a village of 500 inhabitants, we already reached the territories on the map. There was a lot of requests of tourism in mountain nature, but the offer was really low, and we tried to cover this empty space. We already started collaboration with 30 public institutions, and we were in mountain and nature with over 200 people with disability. We did 1,000 kilometers in the mountain with the Jolette, and we already started 5 long-term consultancy for public institutions and private entities. Our team is big and is made by a lot of different persons. Jolette drivers, interpreter of sign language, travel blogger, press and communication expert, video photometer, tourist environmental guides, tourist blind guide, multilingual expert, but the most important part that we already start to work with more than 10 national associations involved in accessibility. What about the future? We divided our future in 3 terms. Short term, where we like to make even more consultancy, and this future is already started. Medium term, where we want to expand our market outside of Italy, and long term, where we want to become a certifying body for touristic accessibility. Yeah, a lot of dreams, but we like to dreams. But even more, we like to see the smile on the face of people that they come in nature and mountain with us. Thank you very much.
And joining us now is Mirko from Italy. Thank you for joining us. We've got 2 minutes together. I'm wildly over time, so I have to stick to the 2 minutes right now, Mirko. But I've got two great questions for you from Catherine Hamill from Millennium Destinations in Cambodia. So the questions I have are, what strategies are you implementing to scale the impact of Appennini for all beyond Italy?
Yeah, I mean, we already work with a lot of associations around Italy, and these associations are part of the network of accessibility in Italy. So we already started the scalability in Italy. And yeah, we dream also to go abroad. So we are already starting also this approach to foreign market. And we are searching for the good market in France and in Czech Republic. We are looking also place where there are like people that they have Italian origins and they want to come back to the mountains. So, and we are looking for this. Yes.
It's both the destinations and the product itself. So wherever there's a mountain, of course, but wherever there's a market that might work for it.
Yeah, exactly.
Very good. Second question from Catherine here is, how can the broader travel industry adopt your model to address various types of disabilities?
Well, this question is not easy, but I always say that the idea of society is that to adapt the model to the accessibility is really difficult. Sometimes it's quite impossible. But in my job, I showed a lot of time that also with a small impact, a small change, a lot of people with disability, they can join the activity. I mean, we always think that the disability is all about the well-trained people, but we have a lot of disability, just to change, for example, some maps, making some 3D maps, they can allow people, blind people to take part of activities. So sometimes, yeah, the changements are really big, but sometimes we need some just small adjustment. So we're working together. I think we can find a solution and a good way.
Mirko, you're a fantastic communicator and you came in bang on time. So I can only wish you the best of luck, and last but not least in the competition to pitch today. So thank you very much for joining us from Italy. All the best to you and power to you. This is the end of the pitches. We're about to sequester jury number 2. The growth track jury are off. They have a private room virtually where they're joined to watch and listen and to decide on what happens next. And because this is a live show, I have to fill a little bit of time while we're waiting for all of that to happen. We'll have Claudia and Adi on later to announce the winners, but in the meantime, we might have a quick chat to Claudia just to see what's actually going on inside the minds of the jurors. If you haven't done so already, and before we have a quick chat, Claudia, still have time to vote on who you think the audience awards should go to for the audience pick for both the launch track and the growth track. I'm waiting patiently for a special message here from the green room, from backstage, when we have white smoke from the 2 conclaves to tell us when they have elected their new choice. But Claudia, I wanted to get your notes on, first of all, what did you make of the pitches? You must have seen them already. What did you think of the pitches, and what's going on in the minds of the jury right now to try and pick the best winner?
It is really amazing to see and to feel. I have all the screens open and to see, okay, here's something going on in the jury. There are comments, there are discussions, and I see what's going on LinkedIn. So I think it's amazing to see what we are bringing together here in these 2 hours. People from all over the world are just talking to each other, getting to know each other. And I think we have a lot of very professional initiatives this year. So it will be a very, very tight decision. So it's maybe 0.01 or 0.2 or whatever in the end. But we already discussed that beforehand, that it is that everybody wins here. One of the jury members said in a meeting 2 weeks ago, the first winning is if you have filled out the application. and then you reflect what you are doing, and then the next is, okay, you get picked out of the 25 or the 10 finalists or whatever. And if you are one of the finalists, you have already had a mentoring phase of, let's say, 10 weeks. So you already won a little bit. Yeah. And if you are getting to the best, then it is not only, let's say, your business model or whatever, it is also how you present it, how it works, and maybe what's the surrounding. We try to be really fair here, and to give everybody the same chance. But in the end, I think we are 10 people there in the jury at the moment, and we are looking at the pitches from really different perspectives. And this is also what we see in the end in the voting.
There's some real investor grade, investor ready pitches in that growth track, certainly. But you can really see the kernel of an early idea in all of the launch ideas. It's, I don't know, kind of brings me back. It's great to see just the idea is good and it's there and it's clear. Sometimes the communication is, sometimes the artifacts like the logos and the brand, but that doesn't really matter. It's about how good the idea is and how well you can execute it later. So seeing that in the launch track really shows how truly grassroots the competition is. So I know we're doing something well, and I know we're doing something beyond just a pitch competition here. This is really a development competition where there's a journey before the pitch and of course afterwards. After the winners are picked, I suppose it's really just icing on the cake. I've had a message. Do you want to bring Addy up here and maybe Lydia to have a quick chat about where we've been so far? I know I have seen some white smoke. No, Lydia, I have no idea. Okay, well, we might have a few more minutes to fill here from the looks of things. So I'm just getting these messages from backstage. Excuse me. So, can you give me a sense of your... Okay, very good. This is it. All live. See, well, we might leave it for a podcast afterwards, Claudia, but I want to talk to you about where are they now from the other 4 editions of the show. But here's what I'd like to do. We have who are the winners. We've got 2 winners of the audience choice. So we've tallied up. There haven't been any robots, so these are real votes, just a right number. About 1,600 the last time we saw the figure. So the audience favorites for, let's go with the first there. Is it the launch track and the growth track together? Let's go. Launch track is Buslunteer. Fantastic. Well done, Matteo. Well done. And from the growth track, wow, that's amazing. So Appennini for all. I just love that idea. It's so cool. Anyway, look, fair play to you both, gentlemen. Well done. Well done. 2 great projects, and it's lovely to have featured them here today. I had a soft spot for both. Well done, guys. So I'm well impressed with what you've done here with the audience so far. And of course, you now know that the responsibility is there to live up to that standard and to outdo it and to keep the ball rolling. So let's go. Who is... maybe jump into some of the where are they now stories, Claudia. Tell me what has happened to last year's winners. Any standouts from last year's competition that have developed? Have you been in touch? Have you been able to keep track?
So maybe you remember last year, 23, we didn't have a competition, but 22. And the winner were in the growth track, Wheel the World, Alvaro Silberstein. And he's really successful. He has a very good idea and a very, very good technology. So he was ready to market. And in the launch track, I think it was Paola from Italy.
Nice.
Accessibility. I'm looking for the name. So this
it rings a bell. I'm drawing a blank.
Sorry. I'm here watching what's going on with the presentation for now. So this is also a live event, and we have so much accessibility today. So Paola was. Let me have a look. actually. No, we had in the launch track your ancestral teachers, and we had
Right.
the valuable network. Both are named
Right.
Paola.
Yeah.
And the launch track was your ancestral teacher from Peru, and she's really in contact, still in contact with her mentors. This is what I heard from her, and she's developing this community-based idea further. And what I can say for the valuable network, she was, let's say, in the launch track last year, and we invited her for ITB. So she was presenting this year at ITB and meeting some people, so getting the network. Yeah, and this is also a very good idea. Maybe you remember she's working with the hospitality industry to bring people with Down syndrome into the teams.
Very good. I think I'm dying to chip away at this topic a little bit more, Claudia.
Yeah.
And we're going to need more time. The good news is that we have had the signal back. I think you've had the same message. So we're going to bring up Adi. I'll step aside. I'll let you do the introductions. And the winners are ready. They're a slide somewhere ready to be presented to everybody. So I can't wait to see the result myself. I've no idea. So I'll learn at the same time as you guys
It was a hard decision, but we are going for that now.
Very good. That was the moment. Over to you, Claudia.
Hello together. I hope you hear me.
Hello, Adi. I'm very happy to see you there. I hope you had the chance to follow a little bit this interesting afternoon. I'm very happy about everybody who is here. So we are managing this from all over the world. People are coming together, working together, presenting. And I think it was a great pitch till here. What I'm asking Maria to bring in our slides. I would like to introduce you. Thank you very much, Maria. So what I like to do is that I quickly have a look at what is in for our participants who are getting the prizes in some minutes. So we have really a bunch of good packages, like from ITB tickets to expert sessions from Amadeus, featuring in different channels, or education videos from Teach It. But we have here the CEO from Neuster Destination, who brings real money in. And this is really a very good point. Adi, I'm very grateful that you are supporting with your company the winners for today. And I would like to ask quickly to introduce you and what is your motivation to support the winners?
Oh, Claudia, thanks a lot for having me here. I'm really happy and nervous for everyone pitching today, seeing them. We are supporting such an incredible initiative here, and I'm really delighted that I have some words now. Destination One, our company, is truly believing that innovation and social responsibility go hand in hand. That's why supporting entrepreneurship in tourism means so much to us, and thank you that we can be with you today. By supporting these outstanding projects, really, I saw so many great ideas. We hope to help drive more sustainability future for tourism and make a positive impact on the industry together with all of you. So that's it. I just want to congratulate everybody, every single person, but especially to the winners we're going to hear from you now.
We hear it now. So we had already heard about the audience winners. So this year it was new that we had an audience open voting since 1 week, and you could really see how the people communicated. And now we go on and hear first the second prizes in Launch and Growth Track. And we will see here. I'm really grateful to say, Noel, you made it. You made it in the launch track. You convinced the jury. It was really, really hard decision, very narrow. And in the growth track, we have as the second prize Khalifast fashion with Christine. My warm congratulations to you both.
Great, really great.
Really great, well done. So, and now we are coming to the growth track. Adi, that's for you. Can we have the next slide?
Okay, now we see the next slide. And the winners for the growth fact are this. I thought the same. But big congratulations to both, to Women Trail leaders, and to, I hope I say it right, Astrostays, Sonal Asgota in India. Big congratulations to both of you from all my heart.
So we have all the winners now here backstage, and I think they're coming in. Yeah, hello.
Yeah, congratulations.
Congratulations, Sonal and Marinelle. So how do you feel? Sonal,
We're just
yeah, or no, Marinelle, please.
Yes, I just want to say thank you so much. It's a lot of work to create this initiative, and this just validates our idea and inspires us to make it a reality for all the women. When women win and they lead, we all win. So thank you so much for the support.
Thank you, Marinelle. Well done. I think it is a very important thing that we have women guides also. It is a topic that is in some countries it's still forbidden that women
Yes.
become tour guides, so it is a very, very important point. Thank you very much. And please give our wishes and our, let's say, comments to your partners in Nepal also.
Yes, will do. Thank you.
All the best.
And Sonal, how are you?
Thank you very much. Thank you. So I think it's really incredible. I really don't have a winning speech, but I think to be chosen among such incredible cohort of finalists, it's really amazing. And I think this award really goes to our team on the ground. Astrotourism experiences are really conducted. They are nighttime excursions, and I think for the team to be standing till midnight when a traveler says, "Can I see Saturn again? Can I see Mars again?" And they are really the boots on the ground. So I think it's really for them. Thank you very much again. I think it's a big validation of the work that we do, and very, very inspiring for us to take this forward. Thanks a lot.
I hope you're gonna celebrate, both of you, today with all the people working with you, and really enjoy the feeling to be winner.
Yeah.
Yes, definitely. Thank you.
Good job. So stargazing is also something that is coming up in Europe, but I know some people who are doing that in Europe, and they told me, Astrostays, I've heard about that. So you already have a name, and go for it. I think it's a very, very interesting experience also for people.
Thank you so much for the kind words, Claudia. That means a lot.
Thank you. Thank you, Adi, for the money. I think it will be very well spent here in the two initiatives, and also the two other ones of the second.
It really feels great to be part of this, with this little support we give you, and I hope it's going to help you to make something great.
Thank you. So,
another great. Who knew? Wow, another great show, Claudia. I'm so impressed with the amount of energy that goes into this, and the amount of energy that we get back from hearing the pitches for the last hour and a half, 2 hours. It's been just like the last time we did it and the time before, I'll be exhausted for a day. It is just so much energy into this. So, and it's only one part of it. This has been happening for weeks and weeks, and it's all thanks to you.
Thank you, Kevin. It's a big team. It's the partners. It's the money that's coming in. That's support. We have a lot of people who are consulting us in the background. So it's also people like you. Thank you very much. You did a wonderful job today.
There's a lot of people to thank about this, and it's all because of the. I think everybody recognizes that this is going to be the new space, and it can be purely economic and it can be social good. But for whatever reason they pick to support it, it's there. It's getting bigger, and it keeps being a more important part of whether it's trends for different demographics or just the right way to treat the planet or just to make communities more sustainable. It's the right way. It's a no-brainer. It seems to be the right way to think of travel into the future, and power to you and fair play to you for finding the wherewithal to start the leading competition in this space, Claudia.
Thank you very much. So I think, sorry.
I was going to deflect and say thank you to all of our partners again, just to name them all, to say thank you to them. They are Booking.com, Amadeus, Lufthansa City Centre, Travel Massive, of course, the Eberswalde University for Sustainable Development, SINA, ITB Berlin, TGIT, and WIIF. Behind the scenes, there's an array of personalities that have made this possible, no least of which the person keeping me sane and on track for the last 2 odd hours is Maria Stoyanova, who's joining us today from Bali. She's our producer. We mightn't see her, but she's been very much part of this. She's been the person that's been corralling everybody onto the stage at the right time and keeping the green room in check, keeping the script in check, making sure all of the hard work operationally has been done before today's stream, as well as during today's stream. So I don't think you'll play the sound effect for yourself, Maria, but I'm going to applaud you. Well done. That was an incredible effort. Fair play to you for that. I'm going to leave it to you for the last words, Claudia. Hopefully we'll do this again next year, and it'll be bigger and better, just like it has been every time we get together. It's always been bigger and better. So let's see what it's like in 2025. Over to you.
Thank you very much, Kevin, for this shouting out also to Maria. Without Maria, it would not happen. And I think the only thing what we can say is we would like to meet you all next year on ITB. ITB will be the kickoff for the next year's competition. We will introduce our partners, and we will hopefully present live some of our winners. We are working on that very hard. But it would be great. Follow us on social media to stay informed. And thank you very much for checking in today and for supporting the competition. Thanks.